31M, never believed buildings could feel hostile. Old, yes. Uncomfortable, sure, but not aware. That changed the week I moved into the tallest apartment block in my area. A concrete tower that looked unfinished even though it had been standing for decades. The rent was cheap. That should have been my first warning. From the start, the place felt wrong in subtle ways. The hall lights flickered just a little too often. The elevator buttons worked, but never on the first press. Every sound echoed longer than it should have, like the building wanted to repeat everything you did. I told myself I was imagining it. The first strange thing happened the second night. I woke up to the sound of footsteps above me. Slow, heavy, measured. That wouldn't have been unusual, except I lived on the top floor. There was nothing above my ceiling except the roof. The footsteps stopped directly over my bed. I lay there, holding my breath, waiting for logic to kick in. Pipes, wind, old structure settling. That's what people always say. But none of those explanations matched the rhythm. Whoever or whatever was up there knew where I was. The next morning, I checked the ceiling. No cracks, no vents, nothing. A few days later, I noticed something else. The stairwell lights never turned off completely. Even during the day, there was a faint glow, like the bulbs were being powered by something else. I asked a neighbor about it, an older man who never made eye contact. He shrugged and said, "It doesn't like the dark." I laughed, assuming it was a joke. He didn't laugh back. As the week went on, I started hearing voices. Not clearly. More like murmurs trapped behind walls. Sometimes they sounded like conversations. Other times, like someone counting under their breath. The sounds always came from the stairwell. I avoided it as much as possible, using the elevator instead. But one night, the elevator stopped between floors. The lights flickered, then died completely. That's when the whispering started inside the elevator with me. Not loud, not aggressive, just close. I pressed the emergency button. Nothing. No response. The whispers grew clearer. I could almost make out words, but they kept overlapping, as if too many people were trying to speak at once. Then one voice separated itself from the rest. "You're still standing." The elevator jolted and dropped one floor before stopping again. When the lights came back on, the doors were open. I ran out without looking back. I started sleeping with the lights on after that. Things escalated quickly. Objects moved when I wasn't looking. A chair turned slightly overnight. The bathroom mirror fogged up even when I hadn't used the shower. Once, I came home to find dusty footprints on my kitchen floor, leading nowhere and ending abruptly in the middle of the room. I tried to leave, packed a bag, booked a short stay somewhere else. But every time I reached the front entrance, that familiar pressure settled in my chest. Like standing too close to the edge of something deep. The doors opened easily. I just couldn't step through. It was like my body refused, even while my mind screamed at it to move. The breaking point came late one night when the power went out completely. No lights, no hum, no distant city noise, just silence. Then the stairwell door creaked open. I watched from my living room as shadows stretched unnaturally across the floor, bending in ways that made my eyes ache. The whispering returned, louder now, more organized. The counting was clearer too. 1, 2, 3. Each number echoed through the walls. I realized then that the building wasn't counting time. It was counting people. I backed away, heart racing, until my shoulders hit the wall. The shadows stopped moving. A voice spoke from everywhere at once. "Most leave early." The floor beneath my feet vibrated softly, like a massive breath being taken. "You stayed." I understood in that moment that the building wasn't abandoned. It wasn't empty. It was full. Full of those who had lived here, left pieces of themselves behind, or never managed to leave at all. "You're still standing," the voice repeated, almost pleased. The stairwell door closed slowly. The power returned. Everything looked normal again. The next morning, I noticed something new. My reflection in the mirror lagged behind me by a fraction of a second. Just enough to notice. I don't try to leave anymore. I still go to work. Still talk to people. Still pretend everything is fine. But every night, the building settles around me, the walls creaking softly like joints stretching after rest. Sometimes I hear new footsteps on the roof. Sometimes I hear someone crying in the stairwell. And sometimes, late at night, I swear I hear the building counting again. Not out loud, just under its breath, waiting to see if I am still standing.